We're at the National Air and Space Museum, the Smithsonian Air and Space Museum. It's Friday night, July 1st, 2016, and there is an enormous line of people waiting to get into the museum, which will be open after hours today. There's all sorts of events happening throughout the night and into the wee hours of the morning. I'm hoping to get in there too, but I will have to wait at the end of that line. Currently, it is 10:35 p.m. The line is moving, but not terribly quickly. So more from the inside. The line was so bad, that was on the Independence Avenue side of the building, that someone on the sidewalk suggested that we go to the mall side of the Air and Space Museum, which has really no line. Looks like you can walk right up. We made it in the museum very quickly from the Independence Avenue side. Much shorter line than the Constitution Avenue side. This is the part of the museum that just reopened after a couple of years of renovation, and it's this main lobby. And I can tell you, I've been to the museum many times, and these exhibits have been closed, have been cordoned off. But now it's great to see that everything is open and people can approach them. This is the U.S. Air Force Band, Airmen of Note. It's a jazz band. There are so many one-of-a-kinds here at the National Air and Space Museum here in Washington. This is the Spirit of St. Louis, which of course made the first solo flight across the Atlantic. And just below it is a standby lunar module that could have been flown to the moon. Over there is Spaceship One, which made the first civilian commercial flight into space. And the floor below is just teeming with people who have come to the museum tonight. It's just 11 o'clock on Friday night, and the museum is packed. One of the many one-of-a-kind aircraft here at the National Air and Space Museum. This is the X-15 that explored the upper reaches of the atmosphere and lower space back in the early 1960s. Down below is this kiosk where you can touch a lunar rock. People have for decades been able to touch a small piece of lunar rock that's inside that little display. Here in the museum is the original model for the 1960s Star Trek series Enterprise.
I want to get the light.
This is the busiest I've ever seen this museum, and it's nearly 11 p.m. Off the big main hall, there are galleries for specific exhibits. The gallery on the right is for World War II aviation, and the doorway on the left is the exit for the World War I aviation exhibit. Also nearby is a gallery for sea-air operations, such as aircraft carriers. There was just so much to see and do here at the National Air and Space Museum's 40th birthday celebration on July 1st, 2016.